Virgo Triad, just a real quick video. I didn't get a chance to address the return code R34 that people have been getting. I believe it's R34. Yeah, R34, the RDFI return code, ACH transaction return code that people have actually been receiving from several of the creditors. They don't understand what that code means. They don't understand why it's coming back as limited participation. And I'm going to go ahead and just read this simple explanation to you so that that will answer this question for you. And the bottom line is here that the code that they are receiving is a code that is a stop code. It means that one of the banks, it's not coming directly from the bank. It's one of the banks that is watching out for money laundering or for terrorist funding. And that, that gets pretty serious when you really stop and think about that. So if you're getting return codes that are R34 codes, then they're taking a look at these transactions pretty hard. Let me go ahead and read to you the answer that I've gotten with regards to the federal or state regulator that are having to order the RDFI ACH network R34 codes. This is beyond a regular reversal code, just so you know. A federal or state regulator has ordered that the RDFI cannot participate in the ACH network, or the RDFI participation has been limited in some capacity. You need to contact the RDFI for more details. Ask for their ACH operations group. The RDFI is the institution that is receiving the ACH transaction. It could be either the debit side or the credit side. It is not the institution originating the ACH transaction, which is the ODFI. These are abbreviations, people, for the originating and the returning banks, okay? The entire RDFI institution might be restricted for an extremely poor audit or rampant suspected money laundering or terrorist funding. Specific accounts at the RDFI might be limited for a variety of reasons, including freezing the account for suspicious activity, money laundering, or terrorist funding, court ordered for impending legal proceedings, IRS levies for non-payment of taxes, or perhaps child support delinquency. I am making an educated guess on all the reasons. Okay, so let's just take a look at this real quick. All right, so let's say that there are a ton of people. We know there's well over 150,000 people that have been reported on through even alternative news channels, let alone mainstream news, okay, that have said that there are all this group of people have attempted to try to access funds using their Social Security number and the Federal Reserve routing number. Now, in this case, what's happening is wherever the Federal Reserve happens to locate, as I say in my ACH video, all that has to happen is an account contains the numbers that are on the back of your Social Security card for it to actually ping back and say, hey, this is a possibility to the clearinghouse. Later on, when they find out that it doesn't contain your verifiable information that you've provided to the merchant, it's going to reverse it and deny it. But let's say that that happens over and over and over and over and over again to the main banks. At some point, there's going to be a restriction that's placed on that banking institute as to manually having to actually check all of these processes that are coming in without an actual banking routing number on them. And the reason for that is because they're looking to see what is this person trying to do? What are these people trying to do? Is it a group of people trying to launder money? Is it a group of people trying to fund terrorists? Is it a group of people that are out to attempt to try to defraud the banking system? one great big giant beta test, in other words, which is what I suggested in my last video. It seems that the perpetuators of this actual movement may possibly be attempting to try to use the public to beta test to see where the weaknesses are within the federal banking system. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, this could be coming from a number of sources, and I'm certainly not ruling anyone, including the own banking system, out. However, the very fact that you are getting an R34 code back that states that they are looking at these specific transactions that you have made manually in order to determine if they're part of a money laundering or terrorist funding scheme should really concern you. If you're getting an R34 back, I'd stop. So this is just information that I wanted to provide to you so that people were not so confused as to the receiving and the originating banks giving these codes willy-nilly. This is not willy-nilly. Those codes come back because of the fact that they are monitoring those accounts and the people that are writing those checks. And maybe not individually as much as an entire group. It's anyone's guess as to what they've decided to do, but this has gotten so large that people are just attempting to do this out of nowhere. That now there are different codes that are being put into place that ordinarily you wouldn't see on a reversal or on a bounce check. So please take this into consideration. This is really important for you to understand. If you're one of these people that has gotten this return back, I would take notice to it and be very cautious. Once again, you can take a look at my question and answers video that I just posted. Wire fraud's very, very serious. And whether or not the regulations that the banking industry and the financial industry in the United States follow are fair or just really doesn't matter when it boils down to it at the moment when we're dealing with you possibly getting in trouble, okay? I'm not saying I don't agree with them. I absolutely do not agree with them. I think it's very unfair, one-sided, and borderline slavery. I agree with a lot of these things that a lot of these different quote-unquote families of movements are stating. I agree with that. It does not mean that I agree with inaccurate information being provided to beta test for someone else, no matter what that group of people are, by damaging individuals into trying these things. So please take heed. If you are getting reversals that say that they are R34 reversals, this is what it means. Now, I have posted the statement on the video for you to read for yourself. If you want more information on it, you can leave comments in the notes section underneath, or you can also call the originating bank or institution yourself. You can call the Federal Reserve yourself. You can look up the banking codes yourself. You can contact your own bank yourself. You can go to your public library and look up banking laws in the United States yourself. You're going to find that this is a rare code to come back on just a general reversal. So they're keeping an eye on it, and you need to take notice of that. Once again, you guys, I'm just trying to keep you safe. I'm giving you actual verifiable fact. I'm sorry. I know it's not what y'all want to hear, but it is the truth, which is what matters in the long run. Everybody take care. Have a good weekend.